but it's a different deal here at the Grand Entry. You know, I mean, that's a prideful deal. You know, especially being from Texas and representing, and I bet you're pretty excited about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I'm going to miss this Grand Entry.
Yeah.
Actually from Colorado.
Oh, that's right. That's
behind
right.
the Colorado flag.
That's right.
Well, represent.
I got you. I got you. Paul, you're from Millsap, Texas. You'll be in the Texas group, and it's one of the largest coming through that Grand Entry, and as far as the group of guys, huh?
I don't know if you're a
Yes, sir. I'm actually from Missouri.
All right,
and
right.
I'll be carrying the Missouri flag.
Okay, but you're living. I'm getting all the towns wrong.
Well,
now,
yeah, I've lived in Texas. For
I got you.
Some time now.
Well, this is your third NFR, right? It seems like I remember maybe you were up here and it was your first year, you know, and that kind of deal. But talk about, you know, arena as far as healing, you know, on your end over there here at the, you know, the wall there on the right, and, you know, the steers, it seems like starting last year, you know, they got a little bigger. Me and Eric were talking about that a little bit a minute ago, but since y'all broke into the steers, how do they compare to last year's?
They were pretty similar to last year. Their horns and pretty big bodied steers, but they're a little more drawed up, I thought.
Right.
Not quite as full as they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they broke them in a little more or
right,
what,
sure.
but they handled really good.
Yeah.
And, last year when we run them through, they seemed a little stronger,
right,
and a little more wild.
Yeah. Eric, as far as heading goes, you know, in the steers, you know, these guys being healers, but how's that affect, you know, your horse, or, you know, setting up that run for those guys, you know, on the bigger steers compared to the smaller steers?
With bigger steers, it ain't near as hard. I think it's a little better for the healers. We get to hit them a little harder, and we don't have to handle cattle as much as we do with smaller cattle.
Right, sure.
You know, smaller cattle, you gotta get a hold of them and kind of baby them around there, and they'll hop off a little better. But now we got bigger cattle, and we can get it on them pretty quick, and then kind of try to get out the hole, get them pulling.
Yeah.
They're a little heavier on the back end, so they clean up a little better on the back end for the healers, I think, with bigger cattle.
Bigger hops, I guess, and maybe not as fast jumps. And that
not
kind of
near
deal.
as quick, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I ain't a healer though.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, this is your fourth year, is that right, to the NFR? Do you ever, coming into this deal, you know, and you think back even last year or the year before, I know you learned something with this experience every year, but coming into this, you got a different game plan or you know, mindset than anything from last year or anything like that?
Yeah, this year we're going to do something a little different. I think previous years I'd be excited to be here and want to rope and just go fast as I can, you know. I think this year we talked about it and kind of had the game plans, and my partner, he's Corey Petska, so we're gonna try to just go make 5-second runs, you know, nothing fancy, just go catch and let it all fold. I mean, just rope our game, you know, like we did all year long.
Sure.
And then we'll let it go from there.
Yeah, kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
Paul, I guess, you know, when you're roping, you think back to last year, you see guys, you know, with different game plans and being fast, or maybe, you know, hey, let's go get those first ones caught. You know, how about you guys? You know, do you watch other guys and how they go about it, and you think, you know, maybe that's what because there's two ways to go about it, and really neither one of them's wrong. You know, I guess you guys see how it plays out, but how about your team, you know, you guys coming in?
Well, kind of same thing Eric said. First year we made it, just excited to be there and just wanting to rope, and we'd been practicing going fast, so we're just going fast as we can. And then more this year, thinking about it, me and Dustin were kind of talking about kind of the same thing. They were, instead of just roping and going as fast as you can, our percentages should be quite a bit higher, going to be 5 or just more catching type run. And because my goal is to do good in the average this year. I've never really done good here. So that's a big goal for me, and I'd sure like to, you know, not pass an opportunity up to win go around money, but also try to catch all 10.
Absolutely. And Shay, like I said earlier, I think a lot of people think, you know, since this is your first NFR, that, you know, this is a new experience to you as far as roping in Vegas, but you've won a lot of rodeos, you know, and talk about your year, you know, kind of what got you here, and kind of some of the highlights of your year, you know, that sticks out in your head. And talk about your partner a little bit too.
Yeah, I was actually sitting at the short round of my last college rodeo, and I had heard that Charlie and his partner might not be roping together. I wasn't going to text him. I thought, man, he's an elite header. He's probably going to say no, and I thought, well, I at least have to give it a try. The worst thing he can say is no. So I asked him if, when he got back from California, if he'd be interested in practicing with me, and he said absolutely. So when he got back, we practiced, run some steers. It went good, and we said, well, let's just try it for the summer.
Yeah.
And from there, it just, from the beginning, it clicked.
Yeah.
Charlie's a great header, really uses his horsepower and just sets him up and allows me to just have good looks after good looks.
Right.
Just gives us lots of opportunities to catch and win. You know, we didn't win very many firsts this year, but we placed in lots of averages.
Yeah.
And we did make some good runs at one headers when we needed to, like San Juan, which was one of the big reasons we made it this year. And, you know, these guys are talking about their first experiences here at Vegas, and they just want to go fast. And I'm so fortunate to have Charlie because he's been here, and he's been the quarterback of the team. You know, he's controlled our practice sessions, and I feel like we're both ready, and a lot of that's due to him because had I just been maybe with another first-time qualifier, we might not have been as prepared today as I am with Charlie.
Right, right. Erich, talking about practicing, you know, all you guys are from all over the country, you know, and you and Corey, you know, I know everybody gets together and, you know, especially for this deal and really practice, you know, but throughout the year, you know, other than the rodeos, y'all practice out on the road, you know, you try to fight a pin, you know, how does that work, you know?
Yeah, we live in the same state, so he'd come up to me and we'd rope, or I'd go down to him and practice, and we roped together previous 2 years. So like in the 4 or 5 years ago, we roped together at the amateur rodeos, jackpots, whenever he needed a second partner. Yeah, I was there, and then I was fortunate last year to get him, so we kind of had a chemistry together on what our run is like and how he liked cattle handled. So it worked out for both of us, and the way I rope with him, it's a lot of fun roping with him because it's nothing too fast or too wild. It's kind of everything's in play to where our run is set up. So roping with him, and we do practice year round. When we're traveling down the road, we try to we got a lot of friends out there in the country, so they'd tell us to come over and rope some cattle. So we go over there and rope with them and work at it, and then tune our horses up to where we need them, and then we'll hit the rodeo again. Yeah, yeah.
Paul, as far as y'all getting together and practice, do you know, us number 4 team ropers, you know, it's a little bit, our practice probably isn't quite as intense, you know, as y'all's, and maybe maybe yours isn't intense, you know, but do y'all get together and, you know, hey, this is what we need to work on today? Or is it just, you know, or do you just kind of worry about, you know, keeping your horse right and that kind of stuff? How do you go into a practice session?
Me and Dustin keep it pretty light. Yeah. We really don't talk about it a whole lot as far as what we're trying to do. I know he's got stuff he's trying to do when he's roping, and he does that, and then I kind of do my own thing. Yeah. And, you know, it kind of works when we go somewhere. Sure. And kind of on the same page as far as how we're going to go about it, but we'll talk about it a little bit, but not all that much, really.
I guess it just comes down to team roping when it's all said and done and getting them caught, and like I said, keeping your horse right and that kind of stuff. And Shay, I always like to talk about kind of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't get to see out here. I guess what's today? Thursday? When did you get out here? Maybe Monday or something like that? Walk us through what's going on kind of leading up to today.
Well, I think it'd be hard to say exactly what I've done. It seems like I've been busy.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what I've been doing. It's just been crazy.
Right.
We got here on, I think, Sunday at 9, and it just seems like forever ago. Yeah. So behind the scenes, you know, we've broken the steers, and we've done the grand entry practice. I've met with some of my sponsors, and we're going to go rope a little bit today before the perf and kind of get those jitters shook out. Right. See what we can get done tonight.
So you've got a buddy or somebody maybe that y'all know that y'all will go today and just kind of ride your horse, I guess, maybe score some, that kind of deal.
Yep, just get our horses prepared. I mean, they're ready. I think it's more for us than them.
Oh, yeah,
they know their job.
I guess, too, you know, you're out here, and Paul, you can probably touch on this, you know, you're doing these talk shows and you're signing autographs and this, but it's a big deal tonight, you know what I mean? I guess deep down, I don't know, I always kind of wanted to just hang out at the stalls, you know, or sit on a bucket, you know, do something, you know. But I guess all day you're just thinking about tonight mainly, aren't you?
I try not to.
You're right.
Too much.
Right. Yeah.
But I know, like the first year,
yeah.
Like I was here that first night I was thinking about it a lot,
right.
and nervous, but you know, just trying to treat it like a normal rodeo.
Yeah, sure.
Most I can, and you know, not dwell on it too much, and just have fun and enjoy it.
Excellent. Erich, I didn't know much about the American last year, you know, and kind of how it worked, you know, and the top 10 guys, you know, going and roping to that deal, and I went to it this year. But does that play a factor at any point, which I know you don't really think about that, but in here somewhere, you know, say if you're sitting 11th or something like that and it's getting towards the end of the week, you know, I guess you may start thinking about the American a little bit, right?
Yeah, man, I think last year we come in like either 5th or 6th or something like that. And at the end of the deal, after it was all said and done, we was 9th.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, we needed to get into this.
Right.
And my partner was 10th, so
yeah.
we had a little money difference, and I was a little scared. But we got into the American, and it was neat. Going to the American over there in Dallas Stadium, it was just like Thomas and Mack,
right?
2 times bigger, or
exactly.
10 times bigger. You know, big stadium, and it's the atmosphere in that building over there in Dallas was amazing feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was cold outside, but
right.
you get inside, it was real nice. You know.
Yeah.
And the people around there was pretty cool.
That was a cool deal.
It was a really cool deal, and hopefully we'll be in the top 10 again at the end of this deal and go there to Dallas again. So
yeah, I was sitting there watching that deal, you know, and I thought, you know, last year doing these interviews, I would have talked about that a little more, you know, but I really wasn't quite sure how all that worked, you know, and that kind of deal. But Shay, real quick, talk about your horse. How many did you bring out here? You know, talk about your horse a little bit. It plays such an important role here.
Yeah, the 2 horses I brought are HK. He's I bought him from a friend of mine, come off the HK Ranch in Victoria, Texas. And the other one is Bay, I call Sports Center. That's the one I've rode as my main horse all year. We kind of had a little bit of a scare last week. He tied up, and I had to take him to the vet, and I didn't know if I was going to get to ride him. Everything's good. He's ready to go. I rode him when we broke in the steers, and I've got to practice on him 2 days before I came here.
Yeah.
He feels awesome, and he just makes my job easy.
Yeah, yeah. Paul, talk about your horse real quick for us, buddy.
The gray horse I was riding, Cadillac, I'm going to be riding him, and I brought my second string horse too. So,
and that's, Erich, you can touch on this. You know, Paul mentioned it, you know, your second string horse. I mean, that horse is still better than anything I'll ever get on, you know. What'd you bring out this year?
This year, my good one, he's been down for a while since the summer, so I have a second string horse that I kind of packed around. Well, I turned him out all year, and then I rode him at the U.S. Finals, a bay horse, Hot Shot. He's not too bad. He did a good job, but I got a good buddy of mine, Logan Olson, that let me borrow his stud horse, Prowler, so I'll be riding a stallion tonight, so it'll be kind of neat, and we'll see how it goes.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Shay, I'm going to let you wrap us up here real quick. I want you to talk about your Team Cinch. Talk about, and y'all can all touch on it if you want, but talk about how important sponsorships are and what Cinch has done for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. The rodeo road it's hard, it's long.
Yeah.
And without great people behind us, we wouldn't be able to do it. I'm fortunate to be on the team. They've been awesome to me and just really great people. And I'm happy to be on their team, and I'm happy to have all the sponsors I have. They're amazing, and I'm very, very appreciative.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I don't want to keep you any longer. Shay, man, it's your first time, man. We're going to be rooting for you. We're going to be rooting for all of y'all. You know, the guys that come up here, I'll be watching y'all tonight and everything. But, ladies and gentlemen, give a hand to Shay Carroll, Paul Eaves, and Erich Rogers. Guys, it means a lot to y'all coming here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.